It's always something. Technical difficulties. It's always something to try to stop you from doing what you're supposed to do. I'm on live now. Yeah. Huh? How y'all doing today on this beautiful Thursday? So today, um, I was supposed to be on Mecca show, but she having technical difficulty with getting me on the live. So she will be coming on this end. So, slow connection.
Greetings.
See, mine's
How
pop
are
up.
you?
I'm fine. Sometimes it be the internet. All the money you pay for internet, and it should no. You shouldn't have no type of problems.
I know, right?
But thank God I'm here. I'm here
Yeah,
now. It
yeah,
can't
we
stop.
here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna take a minute to invite some people in on this end.
Mm-hmm.
So just give me a moment. I'm gonna invite some people in. So I
Hello to
don't,
the people that's
huh?
in. No, I was speaking to the people that was in right now. Thank you for the flowers, Queen. Back at you.
Yeah, thank you for the roses. So it's not allowing me to invite no one on my end. I don't know why. Crazy. This is crazy.
It's all right. It can't stop
Well,
nothing.
exactly. So what I want to do, I would like to take the moment out to say thank you for coming on to the I Am Live and Maze, but this is the Goddess Mekara reality ITV talk show at Works Entertainment in the Mix. So we bring you live entertainment, we bring you news, we bring you exclusive interviews and much, much, much more. And it is like, it seems like the enemy is always in position to always try to stop something, but this is not going to be stopped. On
Ever.
tonight, on tonight, and I want to thank you for joining the Goddess Makara reality ITV talk show. And
Yes,
at
you're
this
very
moment,
welcome.
I would like for you to share. Would like you to introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hey everyone, my name is Ann Mays. I am from New Orleans. For the people that's out of town, if you're new to the channel, my YouTube channel is I am Ann Mays. My IG is Ann Mays. My Facebook is Ann Mays. I talk about everyday life. I talk about my life. I talk about the real world. I talk about everything from my kids to your kids to everybody's kids. So it's a blessing for me to be here to talk about whatever the topic is today. And Shear's going to share with y'all what the topic is today.
Okay. The topic today is women's protecting yourself. And I know that only not only include women's, is also to include men's as well. So, we, I mean, I have, the time that I have met I am Ann Mays. She's been amazing. When I tell you she's a phenomenal, when I tell you she's a phenomenal woman. And she has truly inspired me. When I tell you truly, truly inspired me. And, you know, I love the collaboration that her and I, you know, looking forward to do in the future. And when I tell you, we're going to celebrate also too our 60th birthday together. I know my birthday is in May, hers is in July, but we're going to come together, join together, and we're going to celebrate our milestone. Thanking God for each and every moment of that. But
Yes.
I would like to ask you, Ann, looking back, you know, can we talk about a little bit about relationships, if you
Okay.
don't mind?
Yeah, we could talk about a lot about relationship. For a lot of y'all new viewers that's new to the channel, to my channel, I am HIV. I've been HIV for 13 years now, but I am undetectable. I did not contract HIV from a stranger. I contract HIV from a man that I was married to for quite some time. So today we are talking about women protecting. It's one thing that men, they have condoms and they protect their self, but what we're talking about today is that women need to protect themselves as well. And what I mean by that is they have women condoms. If he one of the men that you mess with, he'd be like, "Oh, I don't like condoms." If it's a man that you mess with, and he said, "Oh, the condom pop" or something like that, or say the condom came off, you already have one inside of you that's protecting you. So that's what we're talking about today, about women that need to protect themselves as well as a man protecting himself. But men do play all type of games, and they'll tell you the condom pop, or they'll tell you it came off. But you got to prepare yourself for that because you got to protect yourself as well.
And I agree. Looking back, what signs did you miss in your relationship? You know, looking back.
Well, looking back, the sign that I missed in my marriage, the guy that I married, he was my first boyfriend from elementary school, and he was in jail for 20, I think like 28, 27 years. And hey Wanda, hey Queen, hey Sherry. Um, he was in jail, so I was going back and forward to seeing him. I found out he was in jail through his mother, and we started talking, and then I started, going to see him from time to time, and so the time was his time to be released. No, I wasn't there for him for the whole 27 years. I found out where he was within the last 5 or 6 years of his time, and I was there for the rest of the years. And when he came out, I decided that I had been married twice already before that, and I had to decide in my mind that I wasn't gonna be with another man unless we was married. I chose not to be with nobody unless we married because I had kids, and I felt like the right thing to do was to get married, so I won't have just no anybody over my kids. And when he came home, we got married. I think we got married 2013, no 2012, going into 2013. And in the process of us being married, um, I didn't know about anything about the HIV at the time. Um, Something happened to where um, he um, he needed to go to the doctor. And when he went to the doctor, I went with him. And when I went with him, he asked the doctor, was it okay the doctor asked him, was it okay if I stood in the room with him at that particular time? So he said it was okay. So um, to find out he caught I think some other disease. I don't remember exactly, but it was something that the doctor said that he had. So he looked at me, I looked at him, and the doctor said, "No, I'm talking to you." So after that, um, she tested. She ran tests on him as well as she ran tests on me. And when she ran the tests on him, and we went back to the doctor, that's when I found out about the HIV. Um, that's when I found out about the HIV. And then when she ran tests on me, I didn't have anything at that particular time. So when we went back again, when they did blood work on me, because they can do a test without doing blood work, and that don't mean that that test is going to be accurate at that particular time. But when they draw blood from me, and when my blood work came back, and I went back to the doctor, that's when she told me that I was HIV positive. Of course, I was mad. I was caught up in my feelings and my emotions, but I was real angry at him. But we had a talk, and I told him I felt like this the life that this happened to me because of you, and I felt like um, I wanted to make sure that he was going to stay with me because in my mind I wasn't educated about HIV. I didn't know much about HIV, so in my mind I felt like it was a death sentence, and I felt like he destroyed my life, and I felt like in spite of what happened, in my mind, you're going to stay with me and we're going to be together and we're going to deal with this together. So I just felt like we was going to stay together because of the HIV or whatever. But as time went on, he started cheating and being with other women. And then he started doing drugs. And I'm not telling y'all the full details because I am doing a book. So if y'all catch me skipping to certain things, my life is, I mean, there's so much can happen in my life, and we'll be on this platform from today to tomorrow if I sit on here and tell you everything. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. But once he started messing with different females, and I started finding out about other females, it was Mad D for me. And I call it Mad D for me is that I chose to tell everybody about him cheating once I caught him, a young girl in the car with him. I felt like I needed to spread the word. I felt like I needed to tell other people to save other young girls, and that's what I did. Um, I decided not to be with him anymore. Um, Even though he cheated with me a couple of times, I still was with him, and but I felt like enough was enough. He also got on drugs and he started stealing everything from me. I came home one day and everything was gone, but the paint off the wall. So I'm not going to sit on this platform and lie and tell y'all I left right away. I didn't leave right away. I prayed my way out of that marriage and that situation because I got caught up into stuff that I normally wouldn't get caught up with. He started stealing. He started doing all type of stuff, and I got stopped in my car with him. He called me one night to pick him up. I got stopped in the car with him, and I went to jail. I got beat up by the police. He got beat up by the police. We got beat up. I was called the N word by a white officer that kicked me in my back while I was down on the ground, handcuffed. But a lot of y'all that don't know me, I am in a wheelchair. I'm paralyzed from the waist down, and I went to jail. And without my wheelchair, I was kicked in my back, and I was mentally and physically abused by JPSO. Um, police officers in Jefferson Parish. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Going back, I know, like I said, I don't know if it's hard for you to, I guess, revisit your past, but like I said, you have truly inspired me. When I tell you truly inspired me, I know that you was shot by your first husband's mistress.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
could you kind of like, like I said, it's kind of hard for me to even try to revisit your past, but
So
could you tell me?
I don't have a problem with talking about that, but for a lot of you guys who new to my channel on Facebook, I do talk about my life. I've been married 3 times, really actually 4 times, and that's a whole nother story. But anyway, my first husband, um, him and he was like, I'm 5 years older than him. Um, he cheated on me with a young lady that I grew up with in the same neighborhood. Um, when I was a young girl, I was dating her brother, um, and I wound up getting married. And my husband wound up cheating with the young lady who I used to mess with her brother at a young age. And all us grew up around each other. All us used to be around each other. Everybody in the hood, I'm gonna say in the hood, everybody knew that she was sleeping with my husband, but me. And I caught, I caught her and my husband in the car before. And when I approached the car, I was on the passenger side, asking her what she was doing in the car with my husband. She told me that, oh, we was friends, and I don't mess with your husband, and she was trying to explain herself. So I was like, well, if you don't mess with my husband, what are you doing in the car with him? And she was like, she didn't want to put the window down or none of that. So we didn't get a chance to really discuss the real reason her being in the car. I followed them to his mother's house. She went in his mom's house, and that was the last time her and I in person had an encounter. But as time went on, um, um, I was at a second line. For the people who's not from New Orleans, a second line it's a culture where people dress up in nice clothes, and they have the brass band. Um, they got the trumpet and the and all type of musical instruments that they play, and we be in the street and we be dancing and all that kind of stuff. That's part of New Orleans culture. So um, on that particular the particular day that I got almost got unalived. She was second line in that day, and I grew up in the second line. So I used to second line when I was a young girl. So early that day, I went by my grandmother's house because my grandmother always was an entrepreneur, had grocery stores, had ballrooms, and all that kind of stuff. So when I went by my grandmother's house, my grandma was like, "Oh, you look so pretty." She know I was going through with my husband. She know he was cheating on me as well, the first husband. And she was like, "Oh, you look so pretty." So back then, a lot of women was wearing Elizabeth Taylor. We was wearing white
Yeah,
diamonds.
I remember Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah. So my grandmother
Okay.
had some on her dresser, and it smelled real, real good. So I like smelling good. So I asked my grandmother, can I spray some on? And she was like, yeah, you can spray some on, because I don't go in people's house, no matter who it is. I'm not going to touch their stuff without asking for it. That's just the way I was raised. Even if it's a bubble gum, I'm going to ask, can I have the bubble gum? Unlike the generation today. So my grandmother said, oh, you look so beautiful. She said, leave that boy alone. She called my husband that boy, because she knew we was going through something. And she said, please leave that boy alone. Go out there, if you're going to second line, have a nice time. And she said, stay away from that boy. So, when people tell you something, some of us, we listen, we hear them talking, but we're not listening. I heard her talking, but I wasn't exactly taking in what she was saying. She was telling me something in so many words, but I really wasn't listening exactly to what she was saying. Had I listened to exactly what she was saying, it probably wouldn't have happened like it happened to me. So I went to the second line, and I saw my mom. My mom was out there at the second line. I am a fashionista. I love to dress, and I was out there, and I was just, I love to design my own clothes. If it ain't designed, I love to be coordinated with my clothes. Not bragging, but that's who I am. I just like clothes. I like fashion, and I saw my mom, and then I had a friend at the time, male friend. He wasn't nobody that I was intimate with. He just was my friend because mind you, I still was married and I still was in love with my husband at the time. So on that Friday, I was with my husband. Even though he was sleeping with her, he was sleeping with me. Even though he was cheating, I still felt like our marriage still had a chance. And a lot of us women out there, y'all could say, oh no, and all that kind of stuff. Y'all could say that because you're not me and I'm not you. So I was willing to make our marriage work, even though I knew he was cheating. And I just felt like it was a phase that he was going through with her. So on that Friday, he came over to my house. We was intimate that Friday. And that was the last day that him and I was intimate, because at the second line that day, I was leaving the second line. And as I'm leaving the second line, I'm coming up. I think the street that I was coming up it wasn't Villery Street. I'm not sure. I think it's St. Louis Street I always get the street mixed up. I got shot on Villery Street. No, no. Well, it was Villery Street. I was coming up Villery Street. And when I looked to my left, when I looked to my left, what happened? I don't know. I don't know what happened, sis.
Yeah, yeah, I had got kicked out.
Oh, all right. So when I was coming up Villery Street, I looked to my left, and when I looked to my left, the young lady who I grew up with, and all us, grew up around each other and all that kind of stuff there. I see her in the car that I used to drive from time to time, which was my husband's car at the time. Of course, my emotion kicked in. My feelings was hurt. I got caught up in my emotions and my feelings as a woman, as a wife. So I put my truck in park in the middle of the street, and I got out, and I told the young lady, I said, I said, didn't I tell you to stay away from my kids? And she said, yeah. So I don't know what made me say that. I know what made me say that, because prior to me seeing her, my kids was at her mom's house, in the same house that my mom just had moved out of. Her mom was living in the house, and I just had got out of jail for a traffic ticket, and I went get my children from her mother's house where my husband was at the time. So when I looked to my left again after I approached her, she said, I said, "Then I tell you to stay away from my kids." Hey, Queen. And she said, "You should have talked that up with your husband," like that. And she called me the B word. She said, "B, you should have take that up with your husband." So I turned back around. For some apparent reason, by my father, my dad being a pimp, and the way I saw him abuse women, I felt like the B word was a slap in my face.
Violated.
Yep. So I turned around and I said, "What you said?" And it was her and her friend standing up there, and I slapped him. So I'm standing up there thinking we about to do a little cat fight, and I'm thinking, well, it's two of them and it's one of me. And she was standing up there, and the other friend was standing up there, and nobody doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing. Ain't nobody putting no nails up. Nobody putting no fists up. We just standing there. So I was like, oh well. So I turned my back, and I was walking toward my car. And from then on, I don't remember nothing else. She shot me in my back, and when everybody heard the shot, one shot, they say everybody ran around there, even including my mother and my sister, and my sister and my mother saw um, the young guy who grew up with all of us, was friends of her brother, friends, our family. He went in his mom's house where I got shot, where I got Pyum Pyum. He went in his mom's house and got a weapon and threw on the ground by my body. And my mom
Mm.
and my mom and my sister saw him do that. So she went to jail. They say my ex, not my ex at the time, my husband came around there, and they say he was crying and all that kind of stuff there. And they rushed me to Charity Hospital where I was in a coma for quite some time. And when
Oh,
I
wow.
when I came out the coma, um, one day I looked up and I saw him at the hospital, and my pressure went up, so he had to leave out of the hospital. And I saw my other, you know, ex. I saw my other, baby dad. I saw him, and then that's when they came in there and told me that I was paralyzed from the waist down. And I didn't know exactly what they was talking about. It really didn't dawn on me right then and there. But when it was time for me to get out of the rehab, and I realized that I wasn't independent no more, that I had to depend on other people, and I had to raise my children from a wheelchair, that,
Wow.
that's when it hit me the hardest, because I never been the person that ever wanted to depend on nobody before. And he divorced me. Wow, he filed for a divorce while I was in the hospital. And months later, when she didn't get no jail time. We went to court a year later, and they locked her up twice. They revoked her bond and raised her bond. And then the judge decided to let us have a jury trial because the judge knows she was wrong for shooting me in my back and I didn't have a weapon. Well, we have so much corruption going on in Louisiana to where the jurors found her not guilty because they say one of the jurors say both of us look innocent. So she got out from shooting me by her looking innocent. And my ex-husband got a divorce. I didn't know by her getting off, I still could have filed a lawsuit against her. It's a lack of knowledge on my end because I didn't know no better. Even though she got off, I still could have sued her for what she did to me. I didn't know no better. And he filed for a divorce. And I never got divorce papers. I never knew I was divorced. And he married her a couple of months later. And I've been in the chair for 31 years, and he's still married to her. And I have kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
That's
And so after that, how was your recovery process like?
I was depressed for quite some time. I bought a house at 28 years old, and I bought a brand new car. I bought everything that I thought was gonna possibly make me happy, and it didn't. I went through a depression stage with my children because I had 4 children. And I had I think my children was like 1, 2, 3, and I think my oldest boy was like 8, 9, or 10. All my children was young. Now they are 31, 32, 33, and 42. So Um, I abandoned my house. I moved to California. I still had my house, but I deserted my house because the house didn't make me happy. I was going to church. I trusted all the people in the church house because I thought all people that go to church was good people. By me being a babe in Christ, I was deceived by the church people. And I was giving all my money to the church people, thinking when I needed help, the church people wasn't there to help me. And I thought tithing and offering was the right thing to do. And I was doing that. But when my lights and my water was off, the church didn't help me. So I went through a lot of being depressed, and I am 59 years old now. And within the last couple of years, that's when I got over a lot of, and I accept the fact that life be lifing, and I am stronger than I ever been. And it wasn't easy. And I think about my lifetime from time to time, but now that I know how life is, and I know life be life, and I accept life for what it is, and I don't worry about things that's out of my control no more. So
Yeah, DJ Fuji said that they are not worthy. They're not worthy at all.
no, they wasn't worthy at all. But I mean, what happened? What happened? I mean, we could say all that right now, but at the end of the day, that was a man that I was married to. That was a man I was in love with, and he deceived me. I married him for better, for worse, sickness and health. And when I was laying on my dying bed, he chose to be with her, even though he was the last man that I was intimate with when I had all my feelings. So I mean, it is what it is. I forgive her. I forgive him. I forgive all the people that got on the stand and lied. He went and get all his ex-girlfriends and they got on the stand and they lied and said they
Oh,
hated
wow.
me. They say I was notorious. And I mean, it was 10 women and one guy got up there that lived out of town and said that I had a gun. There's no way possible I could have had a gun. I had a skirt on with a vest and I never saw that guy a day in my life. My ex-husband, he became one of the biggest, at street men in New Orleans. So he had enough money to buy everybody, to pay everybody off to get on the stand and lie. And I heard a lot of people, they wanted to lie. Some people turned down the money and stuff like that. But he made sure that she got off, you know, she got away, but she didn't get by. And that's my belief. Karma is real, and they might not be getting it that I can see it, but life be life. But he played a part in her getting off. But Jehovah is in control over my life, and he control over everything that happens in our life, and I trust and believe in him. And I had to forgive and move on because God forgave me when I was a young girl. When I was a young girl, I shot somebody. I almost unalived somebody. Even though he was a man, he was abusive, it still wasn't right. He didn't have a weapon, but I know I know he had unalive other people. And I was like, if he ever put his hands on me, um, I premeditated, well, if he ever put his hands on me, I'm gonna show him. And I showed him when he put his hands on me. So I just look at life like you reap what you sow. And I just look at life like I got off with almost unaliving somebody and she got off with almost unaliving me. She ain't really got off. I didn't get off. So we all have to pay for things that we do in life. The energy that you pour out is the energy that you get back, whether it's good or bad. And life be life.
Yes. Well, I think that, me meeting you, you are very, when I tell you this young lady, I am Ann Mage, when I tell you she is so uplifting and she's a strong woman to endure the things that she has been through. Let me ask you, looking back, um, What advice would you give a woman in your as far as the HIV similar situation? What advice would you give the women?
If you're talking about a woman that has HIV now,
Yes. Yes.
well, to be honest, you got to start with loving Jehovah. You cannot overcome HIV by yourself. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. Now, what I don't want you to believe that nobody don't want you. There's somebody out there for you, but you got to focus on you. You got to love yourself, and you got to know that you are worthy. And because the enemy gonna make you think that nobody want you because of your situation. But I'm here to tell you, it's a lot of people that's walking around with it. The difference between them and me is that I am a phenomenal woman. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I know who I am and I know whose I am. You got to be comfortable in your own skin and you got to take care of yourself. You can either take the medicine or you can take the shots. I am undetectable and life don't stop. I am not in a relationship. I am not out there looking to be with somebody, but if that person come along when I am finally divorced, because I am still legally married, but I'm legally separated because I will no longer be with him again, the third husband, but it's not a death sentence. It's not the end of your life. They got people, it's passing away with cancer faster than HIV. I don't dwell on HIV. I don't even care to talk about HIV as much as a lot of people talk about it. The only reason why I talk about it to make somebody else's life a little bit different so they can understand that life don't stop because of HIV. I mean, I've been 13 years undetectable. And
That's a blessing.
I can be with somebody if I really wanted to. They got somebody that's willing to be with me, that want to be with me. But right now, I'm focusing on me. And if I ever decide that if the right person come along, what I do is when I get to know you and we friends and I see that you want to be a part of my life, I share my status with that person. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm not ashamed of my life. And they got people out there every time they talk about us that with the H to I to V, they always say AIDS, that that person, you like her, she got AIDS, or you like him, he got AIDS. They say that about the people with HIV because AIDS sound worse than HIV. HIV is a blood disease just like herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, a lot of those diseases. And what I do want to tell a lot of y'all, just because you have HIV don't mean, and you on medicine for HIV, and you on medicine or you're taking shots for HIV, that does not protect you from other diseases. So you still have to protect yourself from other diseases, even though you're on medicine for HIV. You can have HIV and on medicine and sleep with somebody and get herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea.
Right. Correct. And those are the questions, you are answering all the questions that I have. I have a girlfriend. We, in my first season of the reality show, I did a series on AIDS and HIV prevention. And, with that said, it's a you, and you is the unprotectable and the untrackable. I know that my girlfriend had said that even though, like I said, with you having HIV, there's like a lot of great resources out there.
Oh, they definitely have a lot of resources. They help you with utilities. They help you with housing. They help you with clothes, whatever
Condoms,
you, whatever,
condoms.
yeah, most definitely condoms. Whatever you need, they try to make your life much better where you don't have to be, in a stage where you feel like it's the end of your life. And like
Correct.
I say, having HIV, they got other diseases that will take you out faster than that. So you
Correct.
can live your life. And if somebody, like one guy, I was telling him about, me with HIV or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, I can't be with you." I said, "I can't be with you." I said, "You worried about me. You ought to be worried about the female's not going to tell you." See what I'm saying? At least I'm being honest and telling you. And a lot of guys, when you tell them that, they be talking to you until you tell them. But at the end of the day, you are not exempt. Just because you got a wife or you got an old man, you got a significant other, they can go out and cheat and sleep with somebody one time and you can get it. You're not
Yes,
exempt.
that's correct. And it's a
Just
lot of
because
people
you
walking
married, you
around
gotta,
now. It's a lot
yeah.
of people walking around now, that has and not being tested. I know that my girlfriend said that there are clinics that you can go into and you can get tested for free.
Yeah, it's a lot of clinics you could go to and get tested free. It's a lot of different places you can go to and you can ask for testing. I mean, they making it easy for you to get a test. You ain't even got to pay for it. A lot of people
Hmm.
are scared to get tested. A lot of women still in marriages with men and they know they spouse have a side piece, whether it's a male or a female, and they playing Russian roulette with their life and they taking a chance. And they got a lot of people know their significant other have it, and a lot of people have it, and I know they have it, and I be saying them, and they don't know that I know they have it. And but I can't say nothing because they do have a HIPAA law. It's not my place and not my business to go around telling everybody that you have HIV. And I'd be like, well, in my mind, I'd be like, well, why? When you gonna tell somebody? But some people they gonna go to their grave not telling nobody their business. Some people feel like that's not everybody's business. I'm just saying.
It's a lot of people walk around here also too that have it and don't tell anyone. So I really, 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 really appreciate you, and I, like I said, I look up to you because, at least you are being honest, not only to yourself, but to others,
But
to
if
let them know, so that
But I
let
would have
people
been one
know.
of those. I would have been one of those people like if my husband would have never been out there cheating or whatever, and it would have been just me and him. You know what I'm saying? I would have been one of them same people. Well, he got it, I got it. Ain't nobody business. Our business would have been our business. That's what I would have been thinking. But until he went out there and started sleeping around, and I was like, well, now our business gonna become everybody business because you had no business going out there sleeping around and messing with young girls, messing with women and all that kind of stuff. But one woman I called him with, she didn't care. So I was like, maybe she probably have it already and find out and come to find out she did have it. When I found out she was saying she was pregnant, that let me know right there they was having unprotected sex. So I mean, it is what it is. So it would have been me and him, and nobody wouldn't have known if we wouldn't have told nobody, But since he did what he did, and on Mad Day, and when I felt like I had enough, I told everybody, like, nah, you're not gonna keep on getting away with this and being out there sleeping with different people. So I was
Yes.
like, and
I had met a young lady years ago. Somehow we had met for dinner, and we were discussing, and she had contracted, I think, syphilis or one of those diseases. And I know I think herpes or syphilis, I don't know which one it is, but they they break out. I guess it's a whatever season or whatever, they'll break out. And when they break out or whatever, they probably have like stuff on their lips, down in their private part.
let
And
me tell you,
she
it
was
was
saying
so
that,
bad.
huh?
It was so bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. It was so bad with me and him. So when we went to the doctor, because we was going to the doctor like out of town, you know, and nobody would have never knew. But one time we was there and I saw somebody come from, you know, Orleans Parish Jail, and they knew me and I knew them. But they was going there from the jailhouse, you know, and I was like, me and him was got into it, and I was like, damn, is there any disease you ain't never had like that? Because you know, the other stuff that he had, I didn't get none of that because I was protecting myself. But he had the nerve to look at me, and I was like, no, don't look over here. And the doctor was like, no, don't look at her. She don't have what you have. Like that. And I was like, you know what? Enough is enough, because at the end of the day, and to be honest, he a fine, nice looking man, and he wasn't even on no medicine. I ain't gonna lie, but let me say this. The people that are carriers outlive the ones that they pass it on to.
I heard that.
The carriers, the ones that carry it, that gives it to everybody, most likely, but the devil is a lie. He's not gonna outlive me. So I'm just saying. But his immune system must be so strong, because the majority of the time me and him been together, I was taking medicine and he wasn't. He wasn't taking no medicine. And if you see him, he's a very fine, nice looking man. And he never, the only time he looked bad is when he was doing drugs or he get on drugs. Other than that, he never looked like a person that had no type of disease. And a lot of women gonna fall for him. If he get off of drugs, and the way that he look, a lot of women gonna fall for him, because he is a very, very nice looking man. He is very nice looking. Very.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's every. He is very nice looking, but you know, it is what it is. He not gonna tell all the women like he not gonna volunteer to tell a woman, oh yeah, I got HIV. He not gonna tell them.
I thought that was by you have to give that information. I thought that you can go to jail for
Yeah,
not.
he probably gonna tell them afterwards, since I didn't put it out there. But he not gonna. I mean, he not. I After he did what he did to me, I chose to be with him after I found out. But I could have took it a little further, but I didn't. But in the state of Louisiana, they're not a bit more worried about nobody and no HIV. I only heard them arrest one man, and that's the man that they arrest. He was a DJ or something like that, and he's in jail for spreading it because a couple of women came forward. But New Orleans, man, anytime a woman could almost unalive you in your back, just imagine. They ain't bit more worrying, too much worrying about nobody with no HIV like talking about it.
Yes. You know, the healing and the growth, how has your experience shaped your perspective on love and relationship now?
Well, everything that I've been through in my life is I am a much stronger woman. I am non-tolerant, and I can love you and leave you at the same time. The stuff I put up with before times in my life, I'm not gonna put up with. And all the red flags, I can see, I'm gonna acknowledge, and I'm gonna look for all the red flags like I didn't look for before. Because the red flags be there, we just be missing it. We get so caught up into our emotions and our feelings, so we be like you see it, but you don't see it. You know you see it, but you in denial that it is what it is. So,
Sherry said, my little brother been dead for 30 years now.
oh wow. Oh wow.
I mean,
I know a lot of people that died, you know, from AIDS because they was waiting on the medicine and they never got an opportunity to get the medicine and get the stuff that they have. Technology is different now. And just imagine if they didn't have the medicine.
He said he died 6 months when he found out he had AIDS. Now, it's a difference from AIDS, you know, because I took my girlfriend does these classes. When you have full-blown AIDS, it's a difference.
All right, like she said 30 years ago. Her brother died 30 years ago because they couldn't catch it. They didn't have all the stuff that they have now. See what I'm saying? 30 years ago, if I would have caught it 30 years ago, you know, I probably would have been by them not being able to catch the HIV when he first caught it, it turned into AIDS, and that's how he get to die right after that. If they would have had medicine for him back then, he'll probably still be alive because the medicine attacks the immune system, and it makes sure that the immune system fight off the virus. That's why I am undetectable. That's why her brother is no longer here, because of that. It turned into AIDS, but I mean, it is what it is.
So the difference is the difference from HIV and full blown AIDS can if you have the like full blown AIDS can it be trackable? Can you still live?
Well, Sherry said her brother had meds and he stopped taking the med and he gave up on life. Oh wow. Well, he gave up on life, so that means he stopped taking the medicine and his viral loads and everything dropped. And when your viral loads drop below 200 and something, most likely you gonna get AIDS. It's gonna turn into AIDS. It's gonna turn into AIDS. I know a young lady on TikTok. She had AIDS and she was very, very small. She couldn't walk or none of that. So I guess it all depends on somebody that's nurturing you and they catching it and they getting you the proper medicine. If they can catch it, why it's AIDS, and they can, it's all technology, got all kind of stuff going on right now. So if it's up to you, the way you handle yourself and the way that you take care of yourself and the way you take your medicine. I mean, nobody right now should have AIDS because they got all kind of medicine stuff that they give you, shots and all that, to protect you, to keep your viral loads high where they should be.
Yeah, she said also too, a young lady died after Katrina, and she passed away after that.
Oh wow! Now y'all, just because a person have HIV, that don't mean that they died from HIV or AIDS. It could be other stuff that's going on with their body, other stuff that going on with their body. They could get sick from being a diabetic and their immune system, fighting off certain virus and all that kind of stuff. Down because a person could have HIV and get cancer, and the cancer take them out faster than the HIV. So it can be something else. That's why some people, when they die, people don't say the cause of death, because at the end of the day, just because a person got HIV don't mean they died from HIV. Just don't mean they died from that. They could be to die from something else. When I leave this earth, it's not going to be from no HIV. Most definitely not going to be that. In Jesus' name.
And she said correct. And she said she had the full-blown AIDS, but you are right, Ann. The medicine is out here.
After he died.
Yes. Like I said, my girlfriend, she travels all over the world, and she said that it is so like in Atlanta, one of the major places it's like really, 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 Atlanta. She said Houston, Texas. She said it is like, especially in these young children out here, because they just having sex without being protected.
Well, a lot of people get it misconstrued about life. You can also catch HIV from dirty needles. You can catch HIV. It can be a child that was born that the mom was out there using drugs. It's all kind of way. That's why it hurt me to the core when people they just drag for people with HIV and AIDS and all that kind of stuff. Everybody did not ask for the shit. Everybody, excuse my expression, but shit, life be lifing. And you are not exempt, no matter who you are. That a lot of people don't realize that stuff happened, and it happens to good people too. But at the same time, they got some little girl, wind up getting HIV because her mama was on drugs or her daddy was on drugs. They got some young boy got it because the mom or the daddy. You can get HIV from all type of ways. And when people go to talking about, at one time people don't want to eat from people, and do y'all know how many people that work at 5-star restaurants and work at different places that have HIV, that have sickness, and y'all eat from them every day?
Yes, because I know a couple of people, like I said, that and they work at Burger King and in restaurants and tell you, so we all not educated on this. Thank y'all.
Right.
So, and I think that we, as women's of today and as men's, because, you have, so not only the women's has to protect themselves, also to the men's, because there are promiscuous women's out there. And, we're not going to blame it all on the men's. So the thing is just to protect yourself.
But not
Protect.
only that, a lot of people think, all right, they always talking about people that's like homosexuals, and I mean like people that's like women that's gay, men that's gay. They think that even if it's two women that's sleeping around, you still can get, if she get HIV
Wow.
positive and you looking on her vagina and she orgasm and you let it go down in your throat or whatever, you can get HIV like that if the person is not undetectable. If the person have HIV and it's not on no type of med, y'all having oral sex, you still can get HIV through oral sex.
You really don't know who got that until they tell you.
And if they don't tell you, you got to
Yes,
protect
that's what
yourself.
Sherry said. It's both sides.
Right. You got to protect yourself, even if your partner don't want to, because I get tired of, I hear a lot of these youngsters, I don't like to use condoms and I don't like all that. Okay, so if you don't like to use condom and you're a young girl, he don't like to use condom and you want to be with him, 2 chances to 1, you going to let him not use a condom. That's where you got to step in and you got to have a condom inside of you where he don't even know that you got it inside of you. So that it's called protect yourself. How about that?
So they do
protect
have
you.
female condoms out there. I know my girlfriend said that they have these condoms out here now, where if someone has some type of disease, it will turn colors.
Oh wow, I never heard
Are
of
you
that.
familiar with those? Yeah, they have those. They give them out. And
Oh
yes,
wow.
you still can catch it by not being protective. Yeah, they have these condoms
It's
out
better
here
safe than
now
sorry. Yeah.
that you can use if a woman, a female, has some type of venereal disease. The condom will turn colors to
Well,
another
that's a
color.
good thing. That's a good thing and a bad thing. Because if you got a man and he got a condom and he have sex with you and it turn a certain color and he know that you 2 chances to 1, if he a loony, he gonna try to whip your behind because he gonna feel like you got something where you got it from. So that's good and bad at the same time. Just imagine
Yeah.
you having sex with somebody and if you got herpes, it turned purple and it turned purple on the man and he know that it's purple and he got something, you might wind up getting unalive or he might wind up beating you and you ain't gonna be able to tell nobody. So it's good and it's bad.
I guess look them up. You
Well, you
can,
said once it turns color, you won't see it. Or
yes, you
once
can
it,
look for condoms up. I have that. My girlfriend,
Tony said once it. Tony said once it turned once. No, she said what turn colors. You won't see it. But if it turn color, you got to see it in order for you to know whether or not you got a disease or not. Wow.
yes, yes. So I will get that. I will get back on. We will come back on, and I will have that information for you.
Right.
I will get that information from my girlfriend. Let me ask you a question. How can women support? How can we support each other in these situations? What we need to do to support each other?
What we will, first of all, a lot of women got to stop being envious and jealous of one another. They got to put the envious and the jealous aside. We all are women. We all dealing with a lot of similar, a lot of stuff. If you a woman and you didn't deal with a man, and not all women then wind up with good men, a bad man, or whatever kind of man you didn't have some type of problem with that man, similar to what the other woman didn't have. First of all, put all your differences aside with another woman. Stop being jealous of one another, and don't be afraid to take criticism. If I'm a woman and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but if I tell you something in the right way, don't look at it as me being jealous of you. look at it, well, you know, my sister love me and she ain't gonna tell me nothing wrong. And what you say is how you say it. A lot of women just gotta stop being jealous of one another. Today on my YouTube channel, today is Women Day. And we're gonna talk about a lot of things that need to be talked about. Because a lot of women, y'all gotta stop being envious or jealous of one another. For what reason?
I know, I know. That's awesomeness. And let me ask you a question. What do you hope viewers take away from this story on today?
I hope a lot of viewers, I hope what they take from this story is to protect themselves, to change their life, to put Jehovah first in their life, because only what you do for Christ gonna last, and you can't do nothing without Him. And if it wasn't for Him in my life, so I thank God for my ancestors and my grandmothers and all us teaching me about Jehovah, even though they taught me the Catholic way, and I changed. I mean, I chose to have a personal relationship with God. And the personal relationship that I have with Him is, I can tell y'all that I was in a coma. All I saw was a white cloud. I didn't suffer, and I know He good. So I hope that y'all take the message that He gave me to deliver to y'all, and He make a difference in y'all life, and y'all pass it on. And don't be afraid to share this video to somebody, because somebody needs to hear it.
And what would you, if you could, what would you tell? What would be one things that you would tell your younger self
Oh,
if you
my
could do it
young
all over
self,
again?
if I had to do it all over again, I would a lot of things that I did do, like I would have been a better young lady. I would have finished school. I would have saved myself for the right man, and I would have listened. I didn't listen because I was doing things that I wanted to do, not what I had to do. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I come from a family with money. So the things that I chose to do, it was something that I wanted to do. But on the other hand, I come from a man that was a pimp, that was abusive to a lot of women. And I just felt like that was part of the seed that I came from. And even though on the other hand, I had a good side of the family, so I didn't have to do the things that I chose to do, but it still was in me to do a lot of things, but I still could have made better choices. If I have an opportunity to go and do it again, none of the things I did, I wouldn't do again. And none of the men I slept with, I wouldn't have never slept with them. Clock that T. It would have been right string, wrong yo-yo. And got to be more careful. Y'all wouldn't have never got none of this coochie. Mm-hmm.
And what is your favorite way to practice self-care?
My favorite way to practice self-care is to be celibate. To,
Wow,
take,
that's awesome.
to be celibate and just take care of myself. And I'm about to be 60 years old. And guess what? If I knew then what I know now, boy. I'm not looking for nobody, but if the right one come along, I'm gonna know it. You can't pull no walls over my head. You can't bring game the Barker brothers. They invented all the Tonka Tone games, and I'm one of the ones you can't pull a wall over my head. I done been a fool, but I ain't about to be a damn fool. So I'm
And what
celibate.
is and what inspires you to keep going?
What inspires me to keep going? Jehovah first in my life, myself and my grandchildren and my children. That's what inspires me. My life is not my life right now. My life is Jehovah. He controls my everyday life. And I thank God every day for the life that He give me after the life that I had as a young. I'm better, I'm wiser, and I'm smarter. And I thank God for that. And He's about to take me to a place that I've never been before. All because of my obedience. Let's start
And,
there.
and what's next for you, Ann?
What's next for me is I see my life just expiring, and I see me getting bigger with my platform, my YouTube, my Instagram, and I see me speaking all over the world to young girls, young boys. I just see me being a phenomenal woman, changing lives.
Well, you
I
are
do.
a phenomenal woman. You are
Thank
that.
you.
You
Thank
are.
you.
You know,
You're
you are
right.
so
I
courageous.
did say that wrong. Thank you for correcting me. I am a phenomenal woman.
Thank you for being so courageous. Because
Thank
a lot
you.
of women's out there, you know, you don't know, men's and women's are out there struggling, you know,
Yeah.
with this,
Yeah.
and they don't know, you know, they don't know how to. They don't have a connect. They don't know how to relate.
Right. Yeah. Like Sherry that's on here, Sherry been around my family for quite some time. She been around my grandmother. You know, like I don't only just come on social media and I talk about a lot of stuff that have a lot of facts to it. I talk about stuff that people that follow me know, like they say I got receipts. My human people are my receipts. They can come on here and tell you how my grandmother was. They can tell you how my brother was. They can tell you how my family was. They can tell you how I was. And I am going to speak all over the world. And for the people who haven't got a chance to hear me, it's going to be
Hmm.
millions and millions of people going to love a little lady called Ann Mays out of Louisiana.
And
Clock that peace.
how can other viewers support you? What can we do to support you?
Y'all can support me by, if y'all come on my YouTube channel, I am AMH. Y'all can subscribe, y'all can like, y'all can interact, y'all can share, most definitely share the live. Y'all can support me by the stores. Y'all can support me by what it's all kind of ways y'all can support me, and it don't cost y'all nothing. It's up to y'all if y'all want to send little gifts or whatever y'all want to send and stuff like that. And whatever you do for me or anybody, just know that your blessing come from the man up above. So y'all can support me by following me. Y'all can support me by sharing my videos, liking and subscribe. It's no way possible I'm on YouTube. I can't get 10 people to share my YouTube, to share my Facebook, to share my Instagram. I give y'all wisdom. I talk to y'all every day. I give y'all life. I am the messenger. God give me the message and I give it to y'all, and y'all don't even want to share it to somebody else. That's all I ask. That's not asking a lot. Thank you,
And,
Shirley.
and right now, I'm sharing it to a lot of my people here. So just give me a moment. And while you're doing that, what one thing would you like to say to the younger generation?
What I like to say to the younger generation, I know a lot of y'all out there, y'all follow, y'all like a lot of mess and confusion, and y'all not by yourself. A lot of the older people, they like the mess and confusion. That's the way of the world right now. But the most important thing in life, I come on these platforms and I share my story with y'all. I give y'all wisdom. I don't want y'all to trade places with what I've been through in my life. So I know a lot of y'all be saying, "Oh, we don't want to hear Miss Ann. She always this. She always talk about this." But I mind you, I'm gonna tell y'all and I'm gonna tell y'all again. I haven't told y'all everything about my life, and if y'all listen to Miss Ann, y'all life will be so much better. Y'all wouldn't be going through after the things y'all going through. I don't want to hear down the line, "Oh, I should have listened to I should have listened to Miss Ann. I should have listened to this one. I'm giving y'all the opportunity right now. Y'all can change your life. Y'all can make life. If y'all change your life, if y'all, let me tell y'all, y'all never too young to draw closer to Jehovah and know who he is. Y'all never too young to change your life. It's never too late. Right now, at this final moment, minute, time, hour, second, y'all could change your life and say, you know what? I know I'm not, y'all never gonna be perfect because we are imperfect people, but I'm gonna start living my life the right way. Because if you're bringing in negative, you're gonna get negative. You're bringing in positive, you're gonna get positive. But I will say this: in the process of you changing your life gonna be life. But that's a test. Don't give up and
Yes.
don't look back.
And what is the best advice you ever received?
What you said? I didn't hear you.
What is the best advice you ever received?
The best advice I ever received is when I was incarcerated and I found out I was pregnant. And the lady, Harreen Brown, she's no longer here. She she led me to the scripture in the Bible, John chapter 14. Let not my heart be troubled, in my father's house are many mansions. And that's what made me change my whole entire life. Being in jail, and I never forget this. And she passed away, and her daughter passed away a couple of years, but an older lady, she the one taught me the word in the Bible, and my life been changed ever since. I've been like dipping and dabbing, you know, because they call you a hypocrite when you dip and dab, but I want y'all to know.
One foot
But I
in,
want
one
y'all,
foot out, huh?
yeah, but I want y'all to know that we imperfect people, and God is a forgiving God. But I made up in my mind, I'm not going to constantly be, you know, I wrote a poem, and one day I'm going to read it to y'all. Well, in the poem, I say, do you know what it's like to repent for your sin and turn around and do it again? I'm not going to do it again and again. Because he have his hands on you, and there's going to be a time where he's going to take his hands off you, because enough going to be enough. So the things I used to do, I thank God that I don't do it no more, and I don't have to do it no more. That part right there.
And there's two questions in one, because I know that we're passed over, that hour, and I know you getting ready to go on to your podcast. I know that you got a live coming in at what, 7 o'clock your time?
Yeah, it's 7:12 over here, but my fans over there, they waiting for me, and I got loyal fans. I got people that like me, and y'all, it's okay for y'all to be on Facebook, but y'all can also come to my YouTube channel. I am amazed. I want y'all to like, y'all can interact, and y'all can subscribe. Now, the only thing I can't do right now is I don't know how to do it. Is add y'all in, and I will find out how to do that on tomorrow. I will find out.
We'll get that done for you.
Yeah, y'all can
Let
interact
me,
if you want.
yeah, yeah, you already answered one of them. So I'm gonna ask another two in one. What's your parting message, and also what is your final message to our viewers? That's two, your parting message and your final message.
My
Because they need,
party,
because this topic tonight should, I have a thousand questions, and I thank everyone for coming on to the Goddess Makara reality ITV talk show, which we had to do it on I Am and Maze on her live. That's right. Whatever you want, whatever you do, don't forgive up. Keep going. Amen.
okay,
So that's two questions.
okay,
What's your parting message, and what is your final message to the viewers?
okay. My parting message meaning what? Break it down a little bit so I can understand. Parting, what meaning what?
Parting, like, take care of yourself and each other. That can be a parting message, like, tell people to take care of themselves,
Yeah, I thought so. I just
protect
wanted to
them,
make sure.
protect themselves.
I just wanted to make sure I was on the right page, because if I don't understand something or whatever, I'm gonna make
I
sure
like it.
I ask before I be saying all the wrong stuff, and they be like, "Well, that don't go with what she asked you." Well, yeah, that's why I asked. But anyway, I want you guys like to take care of yourself, whether it's a man or a woman, because men go through stuff too. You know, it's not one sided; it's two sided. You know, I love y'all, and I want to see y'all take care of yourself so y'all can live as long as me. I'm gonna be here until I'm 80 something years old. God say the same, or maybe close to 100 or past 100. So as long as y'all take care of yourself, and if you out there and you have HIV, I want you to pick your head up. I'm in a wheelchair, and I drive, I cook, I clean. I wish they had a cameraman here to show y'all everything that I do. I mop, I sweep, I do everything for myself. The things I can't do, I don't worry about it. It is what it is. And what the last one was, what the last question you asked me?
And what is your final message to our viewers?
Well, y'all, my final message is that um, I am writing a book, and the title of my book, and this for each and every one of y'all, and I want y'all to never forget this. The title of my book is Fault No One But Self. The reason why I title Fault No One But Self, I don't go around saying he did, she did, they did, but what about what I did and you did? So I said fault no one but self because I had an opportunity to leave and let my husband go when he cheated on me, but I chose to stay there. So in a lot of ways, I point the finger at myself and fault myself. To know better is to do better. That's the final word. To know better is to do better. And to do better is to know better.
Awesome. Awesome. So once again, I want to thank everyone. I know that we're on I Am Ann Mays Live, but you can reach me on Mecca Raw page, and that's MEKAH and space RA, for those of which transparency and accountability. Awesome. Awesome, Tony. You can reach me on Facebook Live, also to Instagram. And once again, I am Ann Mays of a phenomenal, when I tell you a phenomenal, amazing woman of God. I really appreciate you for coming on to the Reality ITV talk show. And we will do a part 2. We're going to make this happen again. So we're going to bring you more information about those condoms, those female condoms, those condoms when you are having sex out there, to the men's out there as well, where if someone have these transmittal disease, you know, the condoms will turn colors if they have a disease. So I want you guys to stay protected, you know, stay encouraged, stay strong, stay empowered, and prioritize yourself. So once again, thank you, Ann, and I will join you on your live.
Y'all be blessed. And I have to go, y'all, because I have to go on my YouTube channel because I have people that's waiting for me. But if y'all don't have anything to do, today is Women's Day on I Am Ann Mays YouTube channel. Thank you, Queen. I love you, and y'all be blessed.
All right, you're welcome. Have a great one.